Hello. Today I wanted to talk about my theory on starting drawing. So, when you are starting out, um, it's really hard because you really can't do anything, no matter how hard you want to uh, draw the things that you actually want to draw. Or you may not even know yet what you want to draw. Or you may even draw stuff that you don't like drawing at the time being, but then you end up liking it in the future. So basically, I think what matters the most is that you're always drawing. I think you have to just draw an absolute ton before you can even get to the point in which you start to have a really good understanding of how things sit in 3D space. And I think that just trying to draw every day, making it a habit of it, making it a habit like if you have like a morning routine and however you do that, if you like make your bed, get something to drink, brush your teeth, all of that, wash your face off, make it a habit. So like for now on, say every day I'm gonna draw and set a time that you do it. I also do recommend that. And I would also try to recommend setting goals, even though you really lack the ability to do stuff that you want to do. Now, I mean, I lack great ability, and I'm trying to work at it every day. But it's important to note that that you can get to that point, and that you're not going to be good at drawing everything. Like, kind of what I picked up on is that just because you're good at drawing one type of thing doesn't mean you're good at drawing another type of thing. Everything's a unique case, and I think starting off you should try to be drawing simple objects, focusing on straight lines, C curves, S curves, ellipses of various degree and size, and shapes. So it's just important that you draw. I mean, to be 100% honest, I want to say probably I'm going on year 4 now, and I've made it a good habit to do it every day, and I still feel like I could just never do enough. I mean, I'll probably get more confident, but my theory is it's probably going to take another, 6 years or so to really have good rendering skills down. Now, I found that personally drawing organic things is a lot easier than drawing straight lines. Now, I don't know why that is the case in my point. I'm guessing it's kind of like because we're not robots. I think that every line you draw, even if it's straight, it has a bit of a curve to it, no matter how much you try to make it actually straight. And I guess it's just something that you have to accept. Well, I don't know. You could always be aiming for the straightest line possible. But, yeah, that's just my opinion on that. So, try to draw every day. Try to draw the things that you want to draw. Because I think waking up every day and trying to draw stuff you don't want to draw without ever trying to dabble in the stuff that you actually want to draw, it could get a bit discouraging. I think that the first couple years that you do it every day, I think it could be very discouraging, and I think you have to push yourself through it. And I know that sounds really hard because I feel like most people in life don't really push themselves through the terrible parts as much as they should. I mean, I have no doubt some people have, but I would think one thing that could be hard for a lot of people is probably learning math, because everything's so built on the previous stuff, and you have to have a solid understanding of the previous stuff to understand the newer stuff. Like, you're not going to understand calculus without understanding algebra, because everything's just built on the previous stuff. I mean, obviously you have trig and a lot of other stuff that goes into that, but it's kind of like you have all of these Watergate steps before you can get to the point of being able to draw the thing that you want to do. but you always have to work on it. You'll need to make a daily routine so that you do draw every day. I would also recognize when you're stagnating, but also accept that every day you draw, it's all of that experience is adding up to your skill. Like it all matters. Like every line you draw, like don't think that just because you draw a line it doesn't matter. Try to do it in a meaningful way. Draw using your shoulder. I have a lot of other videos on my YouTube channel that I would recommend you looking into. If you ever do have a question regarding to draw something, you could put it in the comments and I could always try to do it. Or maybe you have a picture of an object that you're not really sure how to do it. And yeah, I would try to answer your question. I have done that before for a couple people. Sometimes I may even just draw over the image, because I feel like a big struggle is kind of learning how to observe stuff. And, I feel like even though you look at something, you may not really understand it until you draw it a few times. That's why I think a lot of artists do studies of things. Even the masters or the greats of fine art, when they're working on a painting or anything like that, they do studies before they even paint at all. So it's just something to accept that it's part of the process, accept that you will get better at it. But yeah, really, really getting yourself through those years could be very difficult and discouraging. Like I wish I had a better answer, because, well, it's just one of those things. Like, I feel like most people really haven't put something, like, they really haven't. Okay, so to fail at something for a long time is extremely discouraging, and you kind of just have to push yourself through the wall that you'll one day get better at it. I mean, I know I said that probably like 100 times already, but just doing that is just complicated. Like, to not give up on it. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, a lot of the greats in art had mentors. They had, they had some type of mentor to help them. And if you don't have that type of mentor support system, it's kind of like you're trying to, like, figure it out on yourself. You're trying to reverse engineer stuff. I definitely think it's worth the time and effort. If you do know someone, great. If you don't know someone, that's okay. I found that if you try to answer, or if you try to ask different people different questions, you'll usually get, if you ask different people the same question, you'll get a wide array of things to do, or like a wide array of their opinions, and it could be discouraging. Like, when I was starting out, I wasn't really sure what medium to use, and I was just using, I think it was, I can't remember, was it a 0.5 fine liner? I think that really was a good tool to use initially. I think using a tool that avoids any type of style or pen pressure is what you want to use. Because I think, the one thing you should be avoiding for, I don't know, I'm going to go on a weird note, but I'd say avoid style for the first 5 to 10 years, because don't do that. Don't try, you want to be trying to aim for reality, being able to draw what you see in front of you as close to reality as possible. And that's just something that, like, I feel like more people don't focus on enough. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's why there's so many starving artists. I mean, good for you if you find a niche and all of that, and maybe that was your main goal. Like, maybe you always wanted to work in a stylistic point of view, but trying to master the fundamentals is really important, because it'll help improve your style. Like, don't make it until you could break it, I guess would be the right thing to say. And I am very far from being able to break it. But perhaps I'm setting weird limitations on myself because of my history. But, yeah. I think the other thing is not drawing with a medium that's too large. Like, using a 0.5 fine liner is good, because I think it's small. It could really help you focus on the line quality. I think just focusing on line quality is just it's just so important. You know, if you're dealing with like thicker pencils or ink, you're dealing with like the weird quirks of the medium. I think you should really be trying to eliminate any medium quirks. Like you wouldn't want to do painting, you wouldn't want to do like regular pen ink, or like, you know, like a bottle, or anything that like the tool that I'm drawing with right now, if you press harder, it will do some pen pressure. I think it's okay for me to do that in my videos. I don't know. I've just been doing it for the longest time. Like, I could turn the pen pressure off if I wanted to, but I kind of like doing it this way. So, and I feel like with any tool, if you press hard enough, you'll probably get some variation. But, you know, like, what matters most is just doing a lot of it and then doing even more. But you also want to be careful without burning yourself out, because I want to say I've burned myself out a lot, and I think I just like pushed myself through it, which may not be the best thing to do. At some points I would try to draw something like completely different, and it was kind of like I felt like it changed my entire day, and I was like it was like kind of weird. I guess maybe I was a bit stuck in a rut, and trying something new really helped me out. Another flaw, I think you can draw from images because it really locks the eye level perspective, but, you know, I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite here because I need to draw more from real life, not from an image. I like to do both. I think the convenience of being able to draw from images is great enough that if it's gonna make you do a ton of drawing, go ahead with it, because that also really matters, but I would try to splice in some drawing from real life, as hard as that is, because dealing with any type of minor variation in eye level perspective as you look at your page and look down again, I always wondered, I think that's just something you get used to. You kind of make a note of the perspective that you were drawing from, the angle that you were drawing from. You could use reference points as you draw on your page, assuming the subject matter you're trying to draw isn't moving. But yeah, it's a lot to handle as well. And I think most people just drop off because maybe they think they can't do it, or they don't have the right support system in place. Perhaps it could be beneficial for you to draw a club, and maybe you could even try to find someone who can give you a mentoring advice. But do know that I feel like true professionals, if you can pay them or tip them in any way, that would be good. I mean, I'm not saying myself. I'm not trying to do any type of self-promotion or anything like that. But I'm saying, like, in real life, if you know someone who can do that, because I think a lot of art skills kind of, well, let's just say many artists who deserve to be paid probably are not paid enough, and then goes the concept of the starving artist. So, you know, just try to think of that. I mean, heck, maybe take some drawing lessons locally to you, and maybe you'll learn something to help drive your path. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. If you have a question, please leave it in the comments. If you like my video, please like it. And if you like my channel content, please subscribe. Thanks for listening, and you have a lovely day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Bye.